Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Lenny Robbins YouTube show, Know Your Politics. Let us all come together to create a better understanding by watching what governments do or politicians do. I want to jump right back into a video that I saw just this morning. Just this morning I saw the video on YouTube. And it is clear, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, it is clear that our politics in Jamaica is going to the dogs. It's going to the gutter, not to the dogs. It's going down to the gutter. It's in the gutter. And it's getting the worse. But after listening to that video that I saw this morning, I'm very much convinced that there's a greater destructive force to our politics lies outside of Jamaica that is currently happening. And I must address this issue. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm talking about the diaspora movements. I'm talking about the diaspora movements. This is more a destructive force to us as Jamaican people and to our politics than what is currently happening in Jamaica in of itself. I couldn't believe. I remember I used to associate it with the diaspora movements way back earlier, 2010 to about 2014. And their mission statement and their vision statement was something that I could contribute to. It was something that really captured and motivated me to be a part of their movements. But it never took me longer than 6 months to realize that the diaspora movement itself is fractured, it's broken, it's an adversarial one. Because in the diaspora movements, there are PMP and JLP members. People who support JLP party and people who support PMP. Now, as we know the nature of our politics and the nature of people, no matter what they want to say, no matter how your education be, the only way you remain neutral unless you don't support a political party, you're supporting Jamaica. But that alone was very evident for me in my first 6 months in this diaspora movement. That even though they were still sending me emails advising me of meetings, inviting me to meetings in Washington and all over Atlanta and all of these things, and I've never attended one. I've never gone. And I stopped responding to their even newsletters and all of that. I remember the last thing I quoted and responded to with them was when they were creating this crime prevention task force or something they call it. And I mentioned in my response to them to that, one of the major problems I've learned that I've realized that Jamaica is overlooking in its crime prevention. No one as yet seems to realize that the very victims can be a part, crime victims' plans or policies can be a part of your crime prevention, crime fighting policies. You understand? That was the last time I wrote something to them. They never responded. It doesn't matter to me because then I realized that this is a political thing going on here. And they themselves are so divided that I know it's only a matter of time. Now, I say that because the video I looked at this morning was in regards to the diaspora movements and its own disintegration. Because it has fallen to pieces. The indications are clear. The members are going off in their own separate direction, creating their own political or their own little movements. How are they going to help Jamaica? Well, let me give a little bit of history from my perspective of the diaspora movement. I may be wrong and I stand to be corrected. But that movement I understand was created to help the Jamaican governments, whichever party is in power, to create a better standard of living for people, for the country. To help the government in its fight against crime. To help the government to provide better health care, education, and all of these things. Just to be there for the government because that's what and they used to solicit funds from us here in US. And from people all over in the diaspora to support what is going on and help the government. Now, mark you, they're doing this to help the government do something that is the government's priority. Which you're on the outside and you're listening to this and you're reading this kind of policy or plans from an organization outside of the country to help people back home to live a better quality of life. Well, generally, you're interested in Jamaica and I love Jamaica for what it is. It's going to pique your interest. It will pique your interest and want to pique your participation. I just want to lay that out, that I was piqued and I was interested in that organization initially, but I learned doesn't make sense. Because just as we see the political bickering in Jamaica, that's the same bickering that takes place in the diaspora. It's no different. It's no different. And I know for sure that this organization will never achieve its vision or its mission statement or goals as they put it. Whatever they put out there will always remain a fleeting illusion. They'll never achieve it. With that out of the way, I'd like to move on to a broader perspective because, as I said earlier, they've become a greater destructive force to a political system in Jamaica because of the state of the organization right now. Not to say they can't get back together, they can. You understand? They can, but that's for another time. The diaspora is widening its grasp or its coverage to what is called now a Jamaica Global Diaspora Movements. Now this includes Canada and England. That is good because Canada has a whole lot of Jamaicans, England have a whole lot of Jamaicans, prominent Jamaicans, people in a position of power and experience and knowledge that can pass on and share and help to build a better, make Jamaica a better place. Also in Canada, also in the US. But what struck me that, who is this weird, ugly, lonesome, as they call him? Who is he? This man wants to declare himself the sole person to head up the Jamaican global diaspora jurisdiction in Canada. He wants to be the sole person, the head of that section of the diaspora in Canada. When it was objected to, the man went into a rage. He went into a rage, into a fit, cursed out and swearing and all of these things. Now we an ugly lonesome, everybody knows from your YouTube thing, sir, that you are a political PMP activist. You're not in this for help to Jamaica, you're a PMP activist. And the diaspora movement is not about PMP. Initially they said it wasn't about PMP, and let us continue down that line. It's not about PMP, it's not about JLP. This diaspora movement should be about Jamaica. So any JLP activists or PMP activists want to assume any power control should be kicked out the door. And your ass should be kicked out the door instead of people arguing with you. Because you can't determine what happens to the diaspora movements. You have not that autonomy. You don't have that autonomy. And if it was up to me, Wayne Lonesome, I'm telling you straight up, I would have kicked your ass through the door. Sure, I would kick your ass through the door, brother. Doesn't make sense. Now this leads me to, your action leads me now to start to look into, after listening to that video, to ask you this question. Because I know there's a strong bond and a strong tie between you and the FBI, ex-FBI Jamaican guy, Rattigan. What is your relationship with Rattigan? Tell the nation. If you guys are so honest, if you are so honest and want to help Jamaica on a whole, let us know what is your connection with Rattigan. Because Rattigan is the other one who seems to think that because he's an ex-FBI agent, he's experienced enough, he's knowledgeable enough, he's qualified enough to be our commissioner of police. Now it is said that he applied for the post of commissioner of police during the PMP administration. He was rejected, not accepted. And I'm sure he must be carrying some malice and ill feelings because of that. If you looked at his follow-up actions to that rejection, it is clear. It is very clear. But what also is even more clear is that Rattigan, like you, ugly lonesome, is also a PMP activist. Because the only way he could apply to the commissioner of police, for commissioner of police to the PMP government administration, is because he very well knows, like all of us who knows, that the commissioner of police job in Jamaica is a political appointment job. You have to be political appointed to get that job. So no qualification, no experience, no nothing you bring to bear in that position is going to get you there, except through politics. Except through politics. And this is what is happening is, listen, our problem, ladies and gentlemen, in Jamaica, that always say this: we must stop, look, listen, and learn what politicians are saying so that we can effectively watch what they do. Because we're blaming the common man on the street for all the shit that is happening in Jamaica, but our problem starts at the very top. At the very top. And what is happening up there? Everyone is fighting. Everyone has an hunger and an insatiable appetite for political power. Now, lonesome, I want to throw this in your damn lap. Power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. Why you think Jamaican will be so stupid to make you the sole and only person as head of the diaspora movements in Canada? Why? It is clear that you yourself and Rattigan recognize that the diaspora movements is in shambles. It's fractured. And you know there are PMP pulling against JLP and JLP pulling against PMP in the organization. So what do? You guys both are seeking and using the opportunity to make yourself prominent head of whatever you want. You can get you can step up to be the leader of. But just remember that absolute power corrupts absolutely. We ain't lonesome. And I don't know what political experience you have. I don't know what qualifications, academic qualifications you have. I don't know where you have managed, what organization you have managed with 200 or more persons before, employees before, or whatever. I don't know anything about you in that way. I don't want to know anything about your background. But like I said, if it was me, I'd kick your ass through the door the minute you was to want to declare yourself the sole person to head up that diaspora movements in Canada. Now, I know you must be disappointed when Rattigan's protest in Manhattan failed. Because you were covering that live, and I know you must be disappointed when that shit fails. Now, Rattigan created the One Jamaica Legal Defense Fund. For what reason? And I quote, here's his explanation: to sue the government for anything that they have done wrong. To defend cases against people. They sell that out there. on behalf of citizens of the country against the government. The money is not to be used for any one individual or any one organization. It is a fund you ask people to contribute to so that you have that fund in place to help defend or to sue the government, take the government to court on issues that we assume is wrong or the public think is wrong. Not we, the public. Let me put the right word there. But apparently, that fund, sir, both loan-sum, listen to this loan-sum, and Rattigan, that fund has not been used to cover what you're selling to people. It's apparent, and there are indications that some of that fund was even used. Some of that fund was even used to assist Vice Cartel appeal. Recent appeal. So ladies and gentlemen, Jamaicans all over, again, just look at the corruption that is coming. These are the people who are seeking to head up organization to represent Jamaica's benefit. These are the activists we are talking about. No wonder you hear them no wonder you hear it is banded about on YouTube that PMP is a criminal organization. But I don't want to go down that road to say PMP is a criminal organization, because neither the PMP is not better than the JLP, nor the JLP better than the PMP, whichever way we want to look at it. So one is a criminal, one for me, both are criminal organizations. That's where I stand on the matter. But who is Rattigan? Again, Rattigan, who are you? Your hatred against government and not being able to achieve the power position you're seeking, brother, is very evident in the things you do. And ladies and gentlemen, back home, if we think the government of Jamaica is doing us real damage to our country, look at the diaspora. It's coming. It's coming with a more destructive force. If some people get their way, it's coming with a more destructive force to destroy our political system in Jamaica. But all of this is saying, really, to me, what all of this is telling me, that maybe this is now the time has come for Jamaica to really now think and consider the creation of a third political party. Because all that is happening between PMP, JLP, the diaspora movement, and all these political tributaries to our political system and governments and governance in the country, inside and outside of Jamaica, they're all destroying each other. They're all destroying each other in the name of the Jamaican people. Note again, the name of the Jamaican people. Everybody wants to be in power in the name of the Jamaican people. To do what? To line your pockets in the name of the Jamaican people. To set up your friends in the name of the Jamaican people. To bring pain and suffering to the society in the name of the Jamaican people. You understand? Everything is about the Jamaican people. So people, I'm saying all of that because I want you to know and to recognize and realize that we are the driving force behind all of this. We are the people who uphold the politics. Take us away and the politics fall flat on its face. So it's our duty, our responsibility to recognize and realize what is happening and make the necessary demand. We don't need Rattigan, One Jamaican Defense Legal Fund to come defend us. We don't need it. We don't need no call to action committee to do anything for us. The time has come now for we, the people, to start to voice our opinion. Get out there. Do your posting on Facebook. Do your posting on YouTube. Anyway, any platform you can. Put it out there. Now reserve this for the last, because you know what? I'm kind of upset about this because Jeffrey Tavares, I said some good things about you because I've listened to a couple of shows that you hosted live, and a couple of good things came out of them. And I thought for the most part, brother, you were on the right track. Well, you may still be on the right track. That is not for me to condemn or judge you in any way about that. Because none of us have the real facts or total facts on anything. But if what I'm hearing that you are Rattigan's right-hand man, then I would advise you, Tavares, if you want to be, well, continue to be his right hand. But if you continue to be his right hand, don't put anything out there about it. They're talking about the Jamaican people. You can't operate as Rattigan right man in the interest of the Jamaican people. You're going to operate in the interest of Rattigan. People are assuming that you were bought. How do you become Rattigan's right-hand man? The organization is paying you well to support their agenda. I'm not going down that road. That's an accusation, assumption. And that's fine. People are all right because of your action. People have all right to assume what they want to assume about you. Just like when I'm sitting here doing this post and people assume whatever they want to assume about me. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a lot more to say about this. Jamaicans from all walks of life, home and abroad. I have a lot more to say about this. But I must end it here because time is against me. And I'll never cease from saying this. Watch what they do. It is time for us as people to come together to create a better understanding of politics for our nation. And we must stop, look, listen, take the time to learn what politicians say and what all these hungry organization, non-government organization who are out there saying they are supporting government on our behalf to make life better for us. You let us send a message to them loud and clear also that if they are not in this to support Jamaicans, leave your partisanship at the door. We don't need you. We don't need you. I've said it far too long. Our people are suffering. Far too long Jamaicans are suffering. Far too long Jamaicans have been the footstool of politics and abuse, oppression, depression, impression, everything. Far too long we have been the victim of everything you can talk about. And only we can uplift ourselves out of it. Only we can de-victimize ourselves. No pastor is not going to do it. No politician is not going to do it. Only we can do it. And we have to be very serious about doing it. Because there's no point in us half-heartedly sit at home and say, no, we're going to leave it to them to solve it. They won't solve it. What is the Crime Prevention Act? What effect has it had on crime? The diaspora created this crime prevention plan, you know, I don't know what it is to be called. What effect does it have on crime in Jamaica? And that was created years ago. Have they even given a report as to what it is, what it has done to Jamaica? How it has benefited Jamaica? How it has helped to reduce crime in any way? No. We don't hear nothing like that. But it was created to generate more funds. The organization can have more money. They need money to do that, money to do that. And people who genuinely went into the organization even put their money into it. Just like Rattigan and his One Jamaica Legal Defense Fund, people put money in it genuinely because they saw it, the way they pitched it. They saw it as a genuine and an honest way to deal with government, to put pressure on government. But one person was in the same video posted that I listened. I don't know if she's the commissioner for it, but she had to request a refund. Rattigan, aren't you ashamed? Ladies and gentlemen, Listen, I gotta go. Welcome once again to the Lenny Robbins YouTube show. This is not about me. This is not about any popularity thing. This is not about nothing. I don't need to be popular. Like I said, I've known enough people in my life, so I don't need to be any more popular than I am. I don't. Who know me, know me. Who doesn't know me, that's fine with me. I'm pretty good with that. Pretty good with that. But I'll never stop trying. I'll never cease. I'll make every effort on a daily basis. Each time I have a video to post, I'm going to appeal to my Jamaican people, women abroad. Please, please, it is time for us to come together politically, socially. We need to bond together now. We have to defend our livelihood, our existence. No matter what they're telling, the country itself is in an existential crisis as we speak. It is. And everybody is rushing to be Mr. This and Mr. That and to earn as much money as they can. They say money is the root of all evil. I'm going to leave this thought with all of my Jamaican people. They say money is the root of all evil. But consider this. If you don't move money, money can't move itself. If you don't spend money, money can't spend itself. If you don't have money, money won't come to you. You understand? So you tell me, what is our greatest source of corruption? I'm talking about Jamaica now, because I could extend it to the world. But what is our greatest source of corruption in Jamaica today? Is it money or something else? Think about it. Money is something you use. Money don't generate its own idea. Money don't get up and walk from downtown to uptown. Money doesn't go and say, you know what, I'm going into Portland to create some havoc. I'm going into Maypen to create some havoc. I'm going down to Montego Bay to create some wreck, some havoc, take some lives. No, money doesn't do that. So you stop and really think and ask yourself the question, what or who is our greatest source of corruption in Jamaica today? And I'm sure money may not be even in your top 10 answers. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Lenny Robbins YouTube. I'm going to ask you to really, if you see this video, subscribe, place a comment, leave a comment, and share, if you so do. I want to. Again, welcome all Jamaicans home and abroad. Thank you very much. Lenny Robbins, over and out.